The private idea that kids belong to their parents. Kids belong to their parents. Recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It could change the world.
Attorney General, please.
So, well, I'm happy. I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. There's still work to be done. So, I'm still a president's wingman, so I'm there with my boy.
If somebody's going to come into my house and I have not put out the welcome mat, I want to stop them. Somebody actually turned the knob. So I said, stand 4 feet back because I'm going to shoot now. Boom. And he's like, oh, that's exactly what I heard.
Freedom prospers when religion is vibrant and the rule of law under God is acknowledged.
An informed patriot is what we want.
Welcome to Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on Conservative Talk Radio.
Muscular Christianity.
Where we relentlessly explore the intersection of truth and politics.
The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Now, here's your host, Brian Fisher.
Hi, and welcome back to the second hour of this free-for-all Friday edition of Focal Point AFR Talk. Great to have you in the conversation. 888-589-8840 is the number to call. Fisker, the electric car company, they make a $103,000 Karma. They're basically ready to go under. They're laying off 75% of their staff today. They got $529 million of your money and mine. Obama giving it away to them, flushed it down a rat hole. They're going bankrupt. They got the $529 million and started making their cars in Finland. They took your money, my money. They took it to Finland to start making their cars. Didn't even make them in the United States. This was after they got the $529 million. They're going bankrupt. They're going belly up. That $529 million, that is flushola. It is gone. They were dependent on a battery maker, A123. That went bankrupt, bought by the Chinese. They renamed it B456. I'm not kidding you. The battery company was A123. They go bankrupt. The Chinese buy it, and they rename it B456. That's now the name of that completely bankrupt battery company. And I think it's the Karma. I don't know if it's the Karma or the Tesla. One of these two. Maybe somebody can help me remember this. I'm going off the top of my head. One of these electric cars, $103,000 car, if the battery goes dead, in other words, you don't keep it charged up, is it the Tesla? Or is it's the Tesla, not the Fisker? So the Tesla is the one where if you don't charge up the battery, if it goes dead on you, you're out on the road and it goes dead, your car literally becomes a brick. You can't even push it. I mean, it locks up. You got to bring a tow truck with a crane to lift your car up. You can't even roll it up. You can't even winch it up on the back of a truck. You got to lift it up with a crane. And then you got to spend $35,000 for a whole new battery train to get that thing back on the roads. These electric cars, total scam, total sham, sales for the Volt, through the floor, through the basement. They're done. Volt is toast. People just do not want to buy coal-fired, coal-powered cars. Jeremy Irons apparently getting beat up over his statements about dads marrying sons, but there's no reason why that wouldn't happen. I mean, it would be an absolute field day. The number of permutations that lawyers are going to find. I mean, what would be the reason? You know, and Jeremy Irons has a good point. You can't make inbreeding the reason they can't get married because they don't breed. I mean, that's our whole point. That's why we shouldn't sanctify those unions with the term marriage because they're unable to procreate. It's a biological impossibility. When you have an infertile heterosexual married couple, that's a tragedy. And you want to help them because there's been an interruption in the process that God designed. But two homosexuals, it is impossible. So they can't breed, so you don't have to worry about passing on these inherited traits of retardation and all that kind of stuff. So there's no reason not to let them do it. You know, if the whole idea is, hey, marry the one you love, then why wouldn't a father want to marry his son? I mean, there'd be no logical reason to keep that from happening. So anyway, he's taken just tremendous amount of flack for that. You've got a former player for the Baltimore Ravens, Brendan Ayon-Badeo. He was released by the Ravens at the end of the season. He's claiming that there may be as many as four homosexual NFL players that come out of the closet on the same day. Going to be like a grand kind of coming out party. And I'm telling you, I'm just not seeing that in the NFL. I am just not seeing that. I mean, you know, in the Marines, I mean, maybe you get switched around to barracks and different assignments, so you're constantly being exposed. I mean, but the NFL, I mean, you got 48 guys on a team, 46, 47, something like that, 53 when you got the, the practice squad. I mean, this is a small group that have to be together every day for 6 or 7 or 8 months. And they shower together every day for 6 or 7 or 8 months. These guys are not going to go for that. I just do not see that working. So anyway, we'll be interested to see how that all works out. Well, let's go back to the phones on this Free for All Friday. Let's go to Vicki in El Dorado, Illinois. Vicki, welcome to Focal Point. Thanks for calling. Thanks for waiting. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, this church that I've been going to, the preacher she was gay, but she's abstained altogether now. But all the other people that over the church are open gay.
Now, tell me again about the pastor. It's a female pastor, and what about her sexual preference?
She's gay, but she's abstained, so she does nothing. She's either way now.
So she would classify herself as a lesbian, but she's celibate. She's not involved in a relationship. Okay.
But the rest of them that are the music teachers, Sunday school teachers, they are open gay, and I don't know if that's someplace I need to not go, or, I'm just really torn about it. Is this something the little kids are going to follow into? Their Sunday school teacher is a role model. Absolutely. That's why, Vicki, I'm gonna tell you as directly and with as much energy as I can, you need to get out of there, and you need to get your kids out of there. That's a wrong environment for you. It's the wrong environment for your children. They're going to be in an environment where homosexuality is going to be presented as a normal, healthy alternative to heterosexuality. You do not want them getting that deception, that falsehood into their heads, because if they believe that and they act on that, it will destroy them. It will destroy them in body and soul and spirit. So I appeal to you, Vicki, get out of there. Don't go back. Don't even go back this Sunday. You find a church where you've got a happily married pastor who believes in the family, teaches the truth, that honors marriage and has a biblical view of homosexuality, that it is a sin, that it's not something that a healthy society ever ought to embrace. You find a place like that to worship and take your family, all right? Yes, and thank you. I just needed somebody to, I had this in my head going whether I'm right or wrong because I don't want to judge.
Yes.
But I know it's wrong. I know that it's wrong.
See, Vicki, you've got a responsibility. How many kids do you have?
Well, I just have my grandchildren now.
Okay, and how old are they?
Well, they're little. They're 5, 3, and 1.
Okay, and do they ever go to church with you?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and so you got a responsibility for them as the grandparent. You have a responsibility that you do not want to expose them to things or take them places where you are hoping against hope that they won't believe what they're hearing or what they are seeing modeled before them. So you want to take them to a place where whatever they're exposed to is going to be the truth. And, I'll tell you something, Vicki, if you're in a church where they are so far astray from the truth on this very, very important issue, that means they are going to mislead you and deceive you in other areas of the Christian life as well. So I think it's time for you to make a transition. I'm just thinking of what we read in Lamentations 2, verse 14 today. Your prophets, these are religious people that speak for God. Your prophets have seen for you false and deceptive visions. They have not exposed your iniquity to restore your fortunes, but have seen for you oracles that are false and misleading. So Jeremiah says, look, the role of prophets, the role of pastors, is to expose to us our iniquity, to present us with the truth, to confront us with the standards of God, to expose what iniquity is so that we can come to the place of repentance and restore our fortunes. In other words, God's not interested in pointing out our sins so we feel bad. He wants to restore us. He wants to restore our fortunes, and he knows the thing that stands between us and the kind of life that we want to experience is our sin. He wants to understand what sin is so we can deal with it. And you want your grandkids, you yourself want to understand that, be in an environment where that happens. You want that for your grandchildren. All right, Vicki, listen, thank you very much for your call, and God bless you as you seek a new place to worship. Focal Point, AF4 Talk. Be right back. Stay with us.